In October 2021, the Chuddlemen, Ross, Bryan, and Sam, convened at a cabin in the woods to start a podcast. Deep in the basement, they discovered the Goo book. Unfortunately, they had made the mistake of muttering the incantation inside.
Chuddle,
Now cast into the Chuddleverse and trapped in a time loop, they are the crypt keepers of the Goo Gods, forced to ask and answer the same questions about a different horror movie every episode. This episode, they are chuddling.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Hello, and welcome to a brand new broadcast of Chuddle the Pod, the only interdimensional horror movie club trapped in a time loop. If you haven't seen the movie yet, don't worry, we'll give you everything you need to know before we cross over into our spoiler zone. And for this ritual tonight, we are offering 2016's The Autopsy of Jane Doe to the paranormal goo god, Yaldamel.
Yaldamel.
Y'all got that mail?
Y'all hear those beautiful voices? That's Ross.
Oh, hey.
And Sam.
Sup?
And my lovely co-occupants of the podcast are here. I am Bryan as well. Thank you guys so much for coming on this journey tonight. Before we continue, you're forced to. It's true.
Where else would we be?
I don't know. You could choose not to.
Sometimes we might.
But then you'd be by yourself. I don't want you to be by yourself. If I'm going to be in a time loop with someone, I'd rather be with you guys.
I think one of these times, we should do a single person episode.
Hello.
Just work your way through.
So the guys are lost in the the crypt somewhere.
Dude, this is like the TARDIS in here because I think it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Dude,
the hallways go on forever. I
found a room. It was like a regular sized room, but it was full of trees. It was like a little forest in there.
Oh. Yeah, a little forest tree. Sweet. We could probably grow our weed in there. Before we continue, I must take a moment to thank our acolytes of the Patreon realm. That's our patrons. The devoted souls who offer, whose offerings sustain the crypt. Keep the signal strong for just $3 a month. Want to support us in other ways? Subscribe, rate, review, comment, share the show. We appreciate all that you do for us. Now, with all club members present and the acolytes avowed, it's time to crack open that goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Chuddle Ream Aspertus.
Give me that goo. Oh yeah.
We're going to get the show cooking with our logline as per usual. This one's pretty simple. Father and son coroners investigate the death of a beautiful Jane Doe. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
That is it. That's what they do.
That is what happens.
That's what happens. Good night, everyone.
I think it works, especially seeing the poster and hearing that log line or something along those lines. You get the feel of what the movie is, and I think that's enough to entice you in. You're going to get a spooky little investigation of death by some coroners.
Yeah.
Sounds good to all of us. Taglines, only 2. Every body has a secret.
Nice. I like that.
Nice. Okay.
It's rare we get a tagline where I'm like, ooh, good one.
Ooh, yeah.
Thought the same thing immediately. And it's funny because the spell check's like, do you mean everybody has one word? I'm like, no.
No,
I do not.
And her curse lives deep within. Which, I mean, I guess
is okay, but it's more like
it's a typical fine tagline.
Yeah. The first one
but
works.
The first one, so good.
Somebody's like, come up with the second for safety. You nailed the first one, but let's just get a safety.
Let's get a backup.
Yeah. That's what they came up with. So perfect. Let's jump over here.
Who forged this tribute for the Goo Gods?
This movie was written by Ian Goldberg and Richard Nyang, and directed by Andre Overdahl. Oh.
Yes.
Oh. But it has a slash through it.
Yeah.
I feel like I should say it's special, but it's special.
I've heard Mick Garris talk about him a lot, and he's been on Postmortem.
Lovely. Well, you heard it from Sam's mouth himself, Overdahl. Some of our key players in the film do you guys know them much? I think Ian Goldberg and Richard Nyang, the writers, didn't The only other thing that I noticed was The Nun 2 from 2023.
Oh.
And like some episodes maybe of Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay.
Producers of some stuff or whatever, but that's some of the writing credits there. And then Andre Overdahl, thank you. He has a bunch of stuff. Troll Hunter, you may know, Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, the recent thing there. So some big horror stuff as well.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that
Which was also great.
Creepy, spooky, and scary. So let's go on to our key players in this film. Brian Cox as Tommy. Emily Hirsch as Austin. Emil Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch. He was so hot back in the day. Or like there was a time where he was like the hot young actor. He was in Lords of Dogtown and Into the Wild.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was Into the Wild.
Speed Racer.
Speed Racer.
Oh, and The Girl Next Door.
Oh yeah, that was the one I really liked he was in. That was a fun teen comedy.
Ophelia Lovibond as Emma, Michael McElhatton as Sheriff Burke, Olwyn Catherine Kelly as our Jane Doe, and couldn't forget Sydney as Stanley the cat.
Yeah.
What had spoilers?
Well,
you could probably guess by the heavy
gives anything away. Brian Cox has been in certainly a lot as well.
Lot.
Yeah.
He's in The Ring, right? Am I thinking of the right guy?
So.
He's the dad on the island.
Oh yeah.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Even if it's not, I'm just going to believe it now. We're
going to go with it.
It's on his IMDb, but
you've now retconned it in my brain because even if it's false, that's how I'm going to remember it from now on.
He's definitely in the X-Men, one of the X-Men movies. As one of the bad guys. I forget his name there. William Stryker.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yes, he is in The Ring as Richard Morgan.
Okay, excellent.
I should have known that. And great. Jane Doe, Olwyn Catherine Kelly hasn't really done much else. As a main character.
Other than
she's definitely a main character.
Body.
Naked being a naked body on screen for a while.
An hour and 20 something minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. And Sydney Stanley the cat did not have any other credits. I checked that one too.
Oh no,
I remember that one. So
you checked.
Don't worry, Savini was not working.
Thank God! I was going to say, did his career go up in flames?
I've heard stories since that was not Savini's idea, and when he told the guy, like, "Don't worry about your snake, we'll take care of it," he didn't know that they were actually going to chop it up. No,
that's some Savini ass propaganda over here. Anyway, let's go here. As we mentioned before, today's offering is a sacrifice to Yaldemel, and Ol Yaldi, as I like to call him, said that the ritual should be modified with body horror, the holy modifier of body horror. So that's how we came to Jane Doe, the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I mean, this is also like
paranormal body horror.
Paranormal body horror. It's also like supernatural mystery because I mean, like it is a very big,
Scooby-Doo.
Honestly, also I would almost consider this like a medical mystery thing too. I mean, it's got like because it's very how they approach this, and I think what makes it very effective.
It's like an episode of House and Scooby-Doo had a baby
mixed together. Yeah.
No, I'd say that's a pretty good description. And, but like the rated R version of it.
Yeah, I was playing.
He was playing. No, I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm saying that's
playing.
Exactly what it is, but just rated R in two corners.
But serious.
Naked, dead. The
HBO version.
Skin, not the Skinemax version though.
No,
that goes in a different
really weird direction.
And let's get off this tangent. And what kind of environment is it good to watch it in? I think this is a good creepy kind of environment, right?
Yeah.
Dark.
Quiet, like
it would lend
lights off
well to that.
Popcorn, you know what I mean?
Sam, you are making faces.
I don't. Party movie?
No.
Yeah, like
I
is
think
it a
it's
party?
more like
Okay,
an
yeah.
afternoon background movie.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
See, I would the first time watching this, because there's so much clinical stuff going on, is that I feel like I really couldn't multitask while this was going on because of the mystery
You
element of
could?
it. You could. No, it could not. As in, like, I was
Okay,
trying
could
to,
not.
and then I was like, okay, I need to actually focus on like what they're saying and talking about.
Sure.
Sure. I could get how on a second watch,
Right.
it could be on in the afternoon in the background.
Absolutely.
First time, I think, try to bring the lights down, and it feels like it's supposed to be lived in that way. Whatever. Is it for
Whatever.
beginners?
Yeah, I can consider this a beginner movie. I think it's contained enough. I think it's got the right kind of elements to it that, like, this is it's a funky one, but it's definitely I think a beginner could handle it.
Medical gore, which makes it a bit more palatable, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I really was curious on how we were going to be landing on the Gorometer, because this is like for a big hefty amount of this is like medical gore, surgical gore.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll talk about it very shortly. Should you know anything going in? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
The title
I mean,
says it all.
Yeah.
Well, I think specifically because it is like a mystery, medical, supernatural, paranormal film, like, I think going in blind is probably the best thing for this movie.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
Trigger warnings.
Animal stuff.
Animals. There is animal death, and there is
cat.
cat stuff.
I already
I
gave
guess
that
there.
one away.
Right. Oh man. I guess there is kind of like a suicide thing in there. There is suicide,
A
obviously.
reference.
It's talk
Talk of
for
suicide,
sure.
and then like a weird kind of pump fakey thing of suicide. But yeah, I guess, I mean, the cat, honestly, the thing that overrode everything for me was the cat. So like,
And then the only other thing, I mean, it's in the title, like Sam said, autopsy, but there is like medical gore. I mean, again, that could make you feel weird compared to just the normal weird,
yes,
hollow, horror gore.
Mm-hmm.
Horror gore.
The horror gore.
Speaking of the horror gore, is Ugat Malou satisfied with this one?
I would say so. I mean, like,
I would probably.
It's a different flavor of gore, but there is lots of gore in this movie.
Yeah, like I think maybe Ugut Malou would appreciates the palette of this one,
Dare I say sophisticated gore? Like it's not animalistic, brutal.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not like
stuff
splatterpunk. It's sophisticated. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what kind of palette Ugat Malou has at the moment, but I think, I agree with you guys here. Great. Let's go over here.
What does that smell?
Do you remember if you smelled anything funny?
Ugh, it's that smell again.
Obviously, it arrived spoiled.
It isn't good. It's spoiled.
Oh, it's probably the body. The body's spoiled.
Yeah, but that also lets us know that we are in the spoiler zone, so
Indeed.
you can let them fly out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since this is the first time that you guys heard that on air, do you know what any of those clips were pulled from?
No.
All of
We're
them
gonna
seem
keep it that way.
eerily familiar, but I cannot place directly. Does that mean I have to like watch all the films that we've seen before? They actually here's
It's not from all the. No, I took stuff from other films.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because not everything we've covered talks about stuff spoiling or smelling.
Okay.
That
You're kidding me.
Suspiria is in there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The Stuff is the last
yeah.
one. So
I cannot wait till we cover the stuff. I'm just letting you know that's gonna be a fun ride.
Here's the chance on the episode, like if you could comment on it on Spotify or something.
Yeah.
If you know one of the other quotes, post it down there. Post it wherever.
Yeah.
What else? What are the other clips from? Do it.
Do it.
IMDb behind the scenes.
See what happens.
One of the reasons Olwen Catherine Kelly was selected for her role as Jane Doe was her knowledge of yoga, which helped her control her body and breathing. That was important because she was pretty much on the table
the entire
most of the time. She spent around 8 hours a day for 5 weeks laying naked on an autopsy table.
Oh my God.
God.
Talk about how uncomfortable
Sounds
that would have to
awful.
be. Well, also the fact
That's what she mentions. Yeah.
Yeah. Also just like having to regulate your breathing and like,
The whole
God, you're
time.
fucking, well, it's also your eyeballs, like her eyeballs are open they're only closed for
When
the first
she's
like,
on, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
she's not
yeah.
on screen the whole time, or her eyes aren't.
no,
on
even when
screen
they're
the
off
whole time.
camera, her eyes had to be open.
She was
the entire
method.
time. Yeah.
She was just doing it the whole time.
She slid into the refrigerator fucking things in between takes. So she was super cold for every single shot.
No prosthetics.
all.
Yeah.
She's
At
that,
all.
She could
yeah,
lower
she's
her
that
own
blue.
body temperature, actually.
Yeah.
Although some prosthetics were used. The naked Jane Doe corpse was played by Owen Catherine Kelly. The director felt that it was necessary to have a live actress for the part so that the audience would instinctively connect with her on a human level. The decision was also a practical one, as he believed that doing some of the close-up scenes using only prosthetics would have been impossible. I mean, it certainly adds to the likeness because it's body.
Oh, for sure.
And makes it feel all the more real than opposed to like just sawing on a hunk of rubber or whatever.
That's, yeah.
So the director, Andre Overdahl.
Underdahl.
He was inspired to do a horror movie after attending a screening of The Conjuring and immediately called his agent and to find a good script, and this is what landed on his desk. I guess.
Interesting. Yeah.
It was very interesting and kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it.
I like The Conjuring was the catalyst.
It's kind of a bummer.
Although, to
I don't know
me,
why.
it kind of makes more sense.
Sure, it makes sense. Yeah, no, I get you. Martin Sheen was originally cast as Tommy, but had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts. He was replaced by Brian Cox.
Interesting.
Although I really do like Brian Cox in this film.
I like him whenever I see him.
Yeah.
But I like Martin Sheen too.
What if we got a Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, or Emilio as the son? What if they got to play the coroners together? That's the Broadway version. They're going to do it on Broadway. Autopsy of Jane Doe, the musical live with Emilio. The song playing throughout the movie is Open Up Your Heart and Let the Sun Shine In, performed by the Cowboy Church Sunday School. So if anyone's curious about that from this movie, that's what it is. Why did we bring this tribute? As we kind of mentioned it before, it was one that we kind of felt best fit in with the parameters of what Yaldemel wanted from their body horror, and a nice one. I hadn't seen it before too, so when we kind of thought of it, I believe that was in consideration as well.
Probably.
But I don't really have another history with it. First time viewing it, I'm done.
I had seen this. I didn't see it right when it came out. I kind of avoided it for a while, to be totally honest with you. And then it was, funny enough, this was like a date night movie for my wife and I, and we were both pleasantly surprised by at the end of it.
Well, that's nice. I had seen this once before, February 19th, 2024. And
okay.
Thank you, Letterboxd. And I apparently did not care for it at all.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. My score was very low for it, but I don't remember hating it. So that's my history.
Gave it a 1.
I guess go to Sam's Letterboxd at Chuddle the Sam if you want to see what he gave it originally or something. Quick recap of the movie. This is where we're all going to stick our hands into that beautiful pot of goo, see which one comes out with a glop in your palm.
Oh, God. Did we warm it this time?
I don't know.
I guess we're going to find out.
Stick your hand in there. I'm going to go ahead and randomize this one here. I am 1, Sam is 2, Ross is 3. Pull our hands out. Oh man, as the goo drips down, it slips off Ross's hand back into the pot. It slides off of Sam's. It just remains all oozed onto my hand here. So I will give the synopsis for tonight. So opens with this kind of horrific crime scene. There's some people seem to have been stabbed, killed. We get some of that blood and gore kind of right away, which I was like, oh, okay. Oogat Magaloo, I think my tasty little fingers in this right here. Yeah. And then we see the sheriff and the coroner's going through, and it's just this really weird scenario of what happened, and they find this beautiful woman that they don't know who it is, a Jane Doe, kind of half buried in the basement or something, unearthed, seemingly.
She looks like she was a couple feet down as well.
Yeah, but she looks pristine, not like one would look if you were buried underground for
any amount of time,
period of time. Realistically. And so one of the big things that comes out of this is like they're like, it seems like nobody was trying to get in, that they were trying to get out. Ba-ba. And then we go off to meet our coroners and such. That's where we get our Bryan Cox and our Emil Hirsch, our father and son coroner duo. They like to crank some tunes while they're cracking some ribs and doing autopsies and shit, going through the motions, and kind of, father teaching the son, the family business, all that good stuff. The son's, his girlfriend, woman he's seeing, comes by. We get a whole learning about their relationship there. And then ultimately they're supposed to go out for the night, but body comes in and it needs some attention. The son's like, I gotta help him with this. It's weird.
It's gotta get done tonight.
Exactly. And that's our Jane Doe.
It's been 2 years, implying that like he's keeps sticking around his dad because the mom's dead.
Yes. And so they start working their way into this Jane Doe, trying to go through all their normal notions of figuring what it's out and like cutting into, but all this like weird shit is starting to happen. It's like they open her eyes, but they're all just kind of glossed over, even though she like looks like a fresh corpse. Like her eyes wouldn't look like that.
That takes days to do.
Exactly. And then they do like a Y incision and start cutting into her,
bleeding.
but she like bleeds. Yeah, it's not supposed to be, only like in a couple fresh hours corpses. At most. Yeah, fresh ones. And the more they start to do this, the more spooky shit starts happening. We also do meet Stanley the cat at one point through all this, which is important because at one point,
or the morgue and crematorium cat.
Yeah, I think so. They also get their radio that they're playing starts playing that song and starts talking about and like
kind of cycling through things to make, give little spooky messages.
Spooky messages talking about like an impending storm coming in. You don't want to be stuck around for this one. You're going to be trapped or whatever it says.
Yeah. I like this, especially they're like, it's going to be sunny skies for the next 5 days straight. And then everyone's like, we have this terrible storm coming in. There's 3 inches of rain.
All this other weird shit starts happening too. Like they stored blood in the refrigerator, but that leaks out everywhere. Eventually they see that like all of
the blood is bleeding.
They like start cracking into her ribs and doing more autopsy shit as weird shit's going on around them. And that's what just like starts continuing.
Like every stage of the autopsy, something weird happens.
Pretty much. They start hearing noises. There's a real fun part where the son, he walks out and like looks in like the little mirror thing that shows around the corner. And there's like just some little figure standing in there.
They've been setting that shot up throughout the movie before then.
But this is ultimately also where we find him finding a noise in the vent, and our poor cat, something has happened to it, and they must put the cat down as humanely as possible. Well, they think they must, I guess. And the cat goes good night for now. They continue with the autopsy, I believe, at this point, and they start going into her stomach, and they're pulling out like it looks like a cloth, and rolled up in there is a tooth that they realize is actually missing from the woman, and there's like all this weird like witchcrafty looking symbols on in it. They find a flower, which is like from up north. They start putting things together that they think she's from up north.
Yeah, she has like
find a flower that they can identify immediately from a book.
From a book. That's like in her intestinal tract. That's like a paralytic. They also found peat in her fingernails, her hair and stuff. That's only found usually in the Northeast.
Yes.
So like
there's all these like
clues,
scar tissue and stuff on her internal organs,
but not externally
as well.
She doesn't have a cut or a bruise on her, but as they're doing the autopsy, they're realizing that she's been stabbed, broken, burnt.
Her lungs,
are incinerated.
Black.
They're like,
she's got scars on her stomach, like
everywhere,
her actual stomach
and heart, like
her
I think stomach, heart, lungs, like everything. All that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So eventually he's like, fuck this, shit's getting too weird, and throws a bunch of like flammable liquid on her, tries to fucking go it up in flames, and then everything starts going up in flames, and they're like, oh shit, put that out. More spooky stuff happens.
She goes out on her own while they're putting out the fire.
Yeah, she does. As they're putting out the fire, she's just
ablaze.
Like straight up Necronomicon style, like completely engulfed in flames, and then the flames go out, and then not a single fucking burn smudge is on her, not even soot.
I believe they're trapped inside. I think at this point someone's trying. I don't remember if this was someone's getting in. They like break down a door with an axe and all this kind of stuff. There's the creepy one of the old.
While
corpses.
This is going on, all the corpses have gone missing, and so now all the corpses of all the people that they've already done the autopsies on are just roaming the halls.
Yeah, so we get a little corpse view through the axe opening in there. They try to escape.
Fucking bell.
There's a bell on one of their toes. We learned all about the bell earlier on. They try to escape out of an elevator. They have a nice little moment together, learning about the mom, and she committed suicide, and she used to be a ray of sunshine. So there's this weird tie-in to this song that they're hearing and all this. Meanwhile, they're still being chased by this creature. So the dad, he takes the axe and is like, I'm going to fucking kill this thing, and like stabs it. And then they go back into the hallway, and he didn't fucking kill this thing with the axe. Surprise, it's the girlfriend. As soon as we saw her, we're like, uh-oh, she's gonna die.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Yeah.
So everyone's all distraught about that.
Emma's the puppy.
And ultimately the dad realizes that she's a witch or something, or was made to be a witch.
Yeah,
after they like flay her open.
Yeah.
And like
they flay her open, and then like underneath her actual skin is all of these runes and marks, like on the inside of her dermis, not on the X side of her dermis. And then that like, oh my God, like what if all of this shit turned her into what they were trying to kill? So they took an innocent woman, did this insane ritual to her, and wound up actually making a witch.
And they cut into her brain, and her brain was still active. So
she's still alive.
She's still alive.
And still alive.
The dad seemingly makes this deal. He's like, I'll go willingly, just leave him alone. So he starts like replicating all the shit that like her that she had to go through, her wounds and everything.
And she starts repairing.
So yeah, she seems to be like all like repairing
fixing
all
her stuff,
the autopsy and everything.
Yeah. He breathes out the smoke.
And then begs the son to kill him. The son stabs him. And then the son, tries to escape or get out. Basically, he hears the cop,
the sheriff, and they're like,
starts to try to go outside
the door so you can
get
out.
And he hears the song.
And then the cop starts
singing the song.
Then he looks back down. Then he's like at the top of the stairwell, falls down, breaks his neck, and I believe he dies there. And then the cops come in, are like, what the fuck? Another situation like this last one, and is just basically like, get this woman out of here, bring her to the next county. I don't want her.
The sheriff was such a good thing where he's like, yeah, get her the fuck out of my county. Do not know. You're driving her far away from here, and get her to some hospital.
And they get her out, and she's gone, but has a little toe wiggle.
Yeah, the ambulance driver, as he's like driving her out of town, the radio changes to the song. And then we'll get the toe wiggle.
No, toe wiggle.
I have a theory about the toe wiggle.
Okay. Interesting. Well, let's talk about the premise. We'll get to the climax, but let's start about the premise overall of this film. The idea of coroners getting a weird body and mysterious shit starts happening.
I
like the premise. I think the premise is great. Even knowing that it's a witch and that it's like she's almost like this cursed object and is gonna fuck. Like, I liked it more the second time around than I liked it the first time around. So for me, the premise works both ways, I guess.
Yeah. Well, this is a fun one because like sometimes when you deal with mystery movies in general, but like mystery horror films, is that once you know what the mystery is, the rewatchability plummets with a lot of those movies because most of it is like the mysterious build up to whatever the turn is, and then once you kind of know it, sometimes like on a rewatch it's a little more lackluster because the first time you see it you kind of have that anticipation. Well, what's cool about this one is that rewatching it, I feel like I'm catching more stuff that's subliminally happening around them because I know what's going to be happening, so I can kind of dive deeper into like the weirdness of the situation, I guess.
That was your first watch, so you just only had the mystery premise. How did it work for you?
For me, it was fine. I mean, I think I forget at what point I figured I was like, oh, she's a witch.
Sure,
but it was that was I was like, that's a fun little thing going on. What's the reasoning behind whatever that or why she's doing anything I was still interested in. So I think all that worked. The premise behind it, that I was always enticed by the movie, so the very idea of it was strong too. But I think it worked overall. And speaking to it working, I mean the filmmaking and the it definitely had a dark, creepy vibe to it in its filmmaking and its cinematography.
I've never been more creeped out by just wood paneling, like how the old underground office, like it feels old, and then having like a lot of the heavier shadows and the set design, I feel really plays hand with like how dark the movie is, because it feels like a like honestly it feels Scooby-Doo. Like you feel like this is a creepy, half dilapidated, kind of like very outdated thing that they're working in, and then when all the shit starts popping off, it starts getting darker, just adds more to that creepiness.
Yeah, I agree. And it feels, to me, it felt like it would live in the same world as which Chucky movie is it that's the old creepy house? Is that Curse? That's Curse of Chucky, I think.
Yeah, that's Curse.
That's with Derpy weird.
It's one of the last
Chucky.
Two.
Yeah, I believe that's our first Fiona Dora one.
It's not Cult. It's got to be Curse.
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, before that. Yeah, it had that a weird same vibe to it. Whatever, this like everything's old, creepy, and dark and weird in this place, and that's definitely a technique that they used. Did you like it, Sam? Did you like the world at all? That what they
not particularly didn't do anything for me. Yeah. I don't think it's creepy. It kind of reminded me in a weird way. What's the John Cusack Stephen King hotel movie?
1408. I get it.
Yeah.
I can agree that I don't think I was ever creeped out during this movie. To spill those beans, like I was like, oh, it's meant to look creepy, so it's gonna be whatever. But I don't think it ever executed for me. So I could see that was the same for like 1408. So, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people do like 1408 and think it's creepy. I could see how people respond to the creepiness of this.
I was getting more like,
I guess I can see that.
Yeah, like the corner scene where like the fisheye corner lens, the mirror, and you see like the silhouette of the body. Scene. I was a great scene. Was not creeped out, but I was like, ooh, like it was more excited than like creeped out. I think the only thing that I literally jumped at was when Emma did the jump scare. What's his Austin when she's like when he's in that dark, and like that one actually got me the first time watching it, because I was like, that's hilarious. That like the biggest scare I got was from a person and not one of the super like the walking corpses.
The creepy moment, I thought, like the only thing that kind of I thought was creepy was like the corpse with the sewn mouth shut, that kind of like, I don't know if it's trying to yell, but when it opens in its mouth, and the stitches are stretching everything, I was like, ooh. But other than that,
yeah,
nothing.
So, suspenders, how are those strapped on for you for this one, realistically? I mean, I don't think they were ever tugged at for me. There was nothing too out of worldly within the movie. I don't know.
I didn't believe he would kill his cat like that. I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, oh my God.
The cat was mangled, I believe, right?
Or that was pretty fucked.
The implication that I took. I
was like,
took it as there was no other option. I mean, it's
a pretty brutal neck snap, to be totally honest.
It's very brutal. I thought he was going to at least take him to the other room and give up like a...
You think he'd have
shot of something
in there to put him down? Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
we need to get him to the emergency vet.
80s action movie.
The fact that he was just like, oh, I'm going to pet you, and now in the crook of my neck, snap your neck. I was like, what the fuck? It totally threw me out. I feel like most pet owners I know would not have that, would not do that immediately upon finding their cat.
Well, I think the difference is that he's supposed to be this also hardened, quote unquote,
stoic
mortician. So death is so natural to him. And he knows when something is, there's no point, or I don't know. I guess it didn't take me out. I just was like, I didn't care for it or like this moment at all, but I was like, I don't know, I guess this is happening. I don't know, it didn't tug at anything. It felt like this was expected, I don't know, in this world for me.
Oh, totally. I think that, like, too, because of the different progressive stages of the autopsy, that, like, because it ramps up as it goes through, like, there wasn't anything that thoroughly jostled the suspenders, because there wasn't anything like super out of pocket. Like, it kind of like each step kind of got crazier and crazier, so it wasn't like a big jump between the two.
And I mean, you're already going and expecting and accepting theoretically a paranormal movie, so the aspects of the paranormal features I don't think really push any boundaries that are going to be like, whoa, I don't believe that. So I think it works on that end. So the tropes, the little things here and there, the horror movie cliches, the scares, if you will. I'd say one trope it kind of does, and it does it fine, is like the lights go out, we have a flickering of light type of thing going on.
We got flickering lights, we have broken lights, we got power going on, going off. Yeah, they hit all the light tropes on this, and I didn't feel it felt heavy. Like, it
felt fine to me. Like, I was like, okay,
yeah,
what else you got?
yeah. And I think the idea of the corpse ghosts, like kind of having those like minion-y type things, was cool, because like in certain aspects they seemed like they were ethereal, like they were ghosts, and then very tangible things that are fucking with the environment. Like they were breaking windows and busting doors and like breaking things, but then also
throwing
like
Bryan Cox around.
Throwing Bryan Coxes everywhere. There was, but also in certain scenes too, that they would like literally manifest and then dissipate and then manifest again, which I thought was kind of interesting. So it kind of bent the idea of like the walking corpse trope into like, I didn't know what I was watching was either ghosts or zombie or
reality, I didn't know if it was real.
Which towards the end, it makes you really think of
with the girlfriend. It's like, was it just being projected that it was the zombie?
Sure.
Or whatever.
We'll talk about some of that once we hit the climax. There's some good stuff. Sure. I have some other IMDb behind the scenes back on the back end as well. I'm sure the thing about the tropes is they all come to us as we start opening up this movie a little bit more. Let's get into the opening real quick. It's that whole scene. An unidentified corpse, young woman is found half buried in a basement of a house where a bloody homicide had occurred. It looked like an old man and an older woman.
And like a other gentleman guy. I guess
and
the guy
a lot
was
of blood.
Improving on the house. I liked it because it creates this really, and I think it's probably because of the lighting. I think it's also because of the color choices technically for the scene, is that Jane Doe stands out so like that weird
pale, like the orangey dirt.
pale gray blue in comparison to like the orangey brown clay dirt around her is just, it feels out of place. Like color wise, if you got like orange and blue, like they're on the opposite ends of the color spectrum. So like it's already jarring. It's like almost a Freddy Krueger type thing where it just makes you feel weird when you see it. But it's what's kind of cool about it, and is that I feel like, and obviously through second watching it and multiple watchings of it, where it's like I feel like they were doing home repairs on this place and accidentally unearthed Jane Doe from the ground, and then all of this shit happened into whatever the murder scene that we get. And I do like the fact that it's so like we're in the position of everyone around, like we're like usually sometimes the viewer will have more information than what the characters are going through, and at this one we're on an equal playing field with everybody, and it's literally like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. We mentioned the third whatever different person that could have been a contractor or whatever, right? Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't really think about why she was there. I was like, that kind of, I don't want to say took me out of it, but that was something I was like, I'm confused, but I'm like, I think the movie I'll be able to like pull it all together in the end. But it still is a little interesting to just, I guess I guess a witch could be buried in the concrete of my basement.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought of that, and then now I'm going to think about that. So that's something too. Yeah. So
and then buried God knows how long ago.
Exactly.
Because it seems like anybody that comes, this also, I mean, obviously we got to talk about like the powers of Jane Doe, but like it's this like aura that she has around her. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just like, did she get unearthed? And then like she'd been underground for so long that she went into overdrive and just fucking nuked the entire house. You know what I mean? Like,
and I like what
it seems like she'd do that wherever.
Right.
She is.
And I like what Sam called her basically too, as a cursed object type thing as well.
Yeah. Like a living cursed object.
Which I think is really cool. And an interesting idea in the whole witchcraft aspect to it. And I mean, obviously she does work pretty quick. What happens to the people in this story is overnight, more or less. So they unearth her, absolutely. And then things start, because then in the story we see, things do start going weird as soon as they start cutting into her, essentially. And we get wobbly radios and all that kind of stuff, the song kicking in. So I like the opening. I think it's weird enough. Like, again, we know what we're about. What we know what comes after this. She's going to be on a slab being autopsied, and spooky shit's going to be happening.
There's the Jane Doe that I hear is going to be autopsied.
But she's found in such an odd way that that allows you to like kind of live in that mystery for a little bit there.
I agree. The opening totally works for me. I'm like, all right, cool. Where's this going? Even knowing where it's going makes it a good opening, if that makes sense.
Now, included in the opening, I guess it's a little further down, but like the first autopsy too, I did like the idea when we get introduced to the father and son in the middle of their job, that the juxtaposition of this incredibly fucked up, burnt body, and then in comparison to the unblemished Jane, I thought was a really interesting mix. You know what I mean? So like you're seeing like the very worst of what they could be working on in comparison when Jane comes in and looks almost like so pristine, I guess would be the best way of putting it.
No, essentially you're right. So yeah, we could speak on that scene a little bit more and anything thereafter, because we're going to talk about the characters a little bit, the father and son. How do you feel about I would say their chemistry as father and son, Brian Cox and your boy Emil? I think they work really well together.
It works really well. Yeah. I think it works really well together, because the way that their body language is, and like him kind of just like rolling his eyes and then kind of like shooting more than just the factual parts of the autopsy. Like he really wants to know why these things happened. And the dad's like, I've been in the business long enough. You don't ask why, this is the facts, and you just stick to this past that. And I like the subtle corrections, not subtle, but pretty abrasive sometimes, but the corrections that he makes to his son while they are working. You know what I mean? Like it seems very father-son dynamic of like correcting where it's like allegedly like looks to be in her 20s, not she's in her 20s. or just like, hey, look at this body and like, what do you see? Now, what do you actually see? You know what I mean? It seems very like father son, but also like apprentice mentor type thing. You know what I mean?
Seems to
like,
be the family business, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
generational type
sure.
of thing, for sure.
I said was like 3 generations, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the kid said. Yeah, I thought the relationship was great. I really believed that Emil Hirsch felt he like needed to stick around his dad, and it like silent acting. There's no dialogue. And that Brian Cox was, recognizing his son's helping him, but, still like too stubborn to say anything about it. And I love the little prank he plays on the girlfriend.
Yeah, that's
I feel
fun.
like that's a like,
Was-
you want to be,
Jingle,
hey,
jingle.
if you want to be part of this family, like I'm gonna do the jingle prank on you.
Certainly, and almost
Yeah.
like just being like, she almost wanted to see like the arse face.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah.
And he was kind of like, yeah, let her if she fucking wants to. That's on her.
If she wants to see it,
That's
yeah.
wild. But yeah, that's their. So speaking of more implied suicide, and there's a body in there that has like a hole essentially in its head. When they pull it out, it has a cloth covering it, but there's just big old indent right in the face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you see
it's
like a
hollow.
glimpse of it later on in the movie.
Yeah.
You get-
I do like the fact that like, and again, it's because of the expertise of the dad too, where he was like, yeah, we originally thought this because the trajectory of the shotgun that he killed himself, and then we found strychnine in his system, and the guy was fucking clearly dead beforehand, and like, ooh, just the way that the fucking blanket is just, or not blanket, but the sheet is just in. Yes,
It's just
it's like
indented.
bowing into the.
There's like a
indented
little
in the
pool of
face
blood or
is like-
something on it. It's like, yeah, it's wild. So that's like, again, more to like this. It's like these little spatterings of medical gore or whatever you could call it. Because some of the autopsy shit is like, they are, and the sound design, speaking of the filmmaking technique,
Yeah.
you really hear that cracking the bones and ripping the
Oh my
flesh
God.
and that kind of stuff.
The
And
rib cracker is like, ooh.
It's just like a big pair of lobbers for your yard.
I mean, lobbers for your yard are
It
just
does not look very medical to me compared to everything else.
sure. I mean, it makes sense.
I laughed when I saw it.
You got to get that spring tension.
I mean, when you're living out in the middle of nowhere, sometimes the fucking Home Depot is closer than the medical supply shop.
I don't disagree that it makes sense, but it amused me.
What if they were completely stainless steel?
It
Like the
probably would've
shiny,
been
like medical
less
looking.
amusing,
What
yeah.
if what
Right,
if they
and
were in
not,
like one of those
green with
giant
yellow
sterile packages and he had to open it and there was a fresh pair of stainless steel
gardening shoes,
gardening
like
shoes.
giant.
That would okay. That's we'll make that modification. The only other, the other main big character would be our Jane Doe here. She doesn't do anything except she doesn't move at all except wiggle a toe at the end. But like,
Well,
she
no,
does a
what's
lot.
weird though is that like it's so fucking subtle. Is that like obviously like
Her
when her mouth
face acting again.
it is face acting. Well, it's her mouth is like agape and like there's a lot of that. But then as the night turns, like she's almost fucking smiling at the end. Like it's weird because it might just be a trick of the light, but like towards the end of it, when like the shit's really popping off before the dad kind of like gives himself up to her, it's like the shadow of the smile. Like everything else looked very dead. And then
Also,
you're like,
after he gives herself up to her, and she's like normal skin
Looking face.
flush.
yeah, and it's like it's
she has
not
blood
as
pumping through her.
yeah, dude. Oh my God. Like I was waiting for her to smirk. It's like the end. It's just on the ridge of it. You know what I mean? Like, oh God. And that was more unsettling too. You're just like, it's not supposed to do that.
Shadow of a Smile is our blues album.
Ooh, I like that.
I remember something recently. It was like our smooth jazz album or something too. So our characters, they talk to each other. Jane Doe did not talk at all.
So, I'm sorry. I did actually look up rib shears because I wanted to. And Sam, you are kind of right, because all of these are very stainless steel. Like you could probably put these in an autoclave, and that looked like Home Depot level.
Absolutely. Got it at Lowe's.
Why pay? How much are those things, Ross? A couple grand?
Probably. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
you go to Lowe's and get one for $30.
This is multifunction.
Those rib shears.
Yeah,
you can also keep your yard clean.
Have been in the family for 3 generations.
Oh, we seem to there seems to be traces of like twigs in her ribs here. Make a note of that.
oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, my bad.
Wrong rib shears.
So
those are the yard clippers.
Nothing about the dialogue really stood out for me. It was all whatever, talking to each other, like nothing quotable, all talking to each other, move the story forward, but didn't,
serve the movie,
we're not screaming out these
quotable.
quotes, I don't think, unless Ross, you every now and then have one.
No, honestly, not for this one.
It's got him shot. All right, let's talk about
that part when she was like, "I'm Jane Doe."
That was weird. I was surprised that they decided to do that, but I was okay with it. You saw the speaking version. There's 2 versions of the movie. One where she doesn't do that, one where she does.
Throughout the whole thing, she's like, "Ow!"
She's like, "Ow!" Stop it. I would love it if there's, how there's the fart version of Wet Hot American Summer that the director's commentary made.
Yes.
I want the owl version of the Autopsy of Jane Doe, where it's just the director going, "Ow."
Don't do this, I'm cursed.
Okay. So Ross, you mentioned some of the autopsy
it's just
scenes.
her inner monologue.
Any other scenes stick out to you? I mean, notably the autopsy scenes are pretty, again, you get that cracking and breaking of bones and peeling skin back.
Cool.
And it's pretty neat, good stuff.
Yeah.
The tattoos on the inside, I think, is a real cool touch, fun idea, visually striking. I like that part.
Totally. And I also did like the cloth with the symbols found on it, and then like the folding of it actually made it into was like Leviticus.
Yeah, which brought you to a passage that basically says something about
it's a witch.
This lady's a witch.
It was you mean the Shroud of MacGuffin?
But at the same time, Emil Hirsch was just putting it together.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was a bit too tropey for me. I didn't like that they were like, yes, in the Northeast, New England, witches. Like, I was like
16 something
right.
something.
Let the audience we get it. You know what I mean?
I think the 2 that kind of I thought were really well done was the foot bell scene when the son's kind of looking underneath the crack under the door, and then like having like that gnarly ass foot come up with the bell, like ding ding. Like I was like, that was pretty cool. It wasn't like a jump scare, but more
tension.
like a
It's a tension building thing. Yeah.
And then I mean, I don't think it's like a direct reference to at all, but it gave me like the Fog vibes when the smoke is in the hallways and then the corpses are like appearing, disappearing, and then just like beating the fucking, beating the shit out of like dad. Like, I don't know. It was just such a weird one. It was also kind of jarring though, in certain aspects.
I was expecting the djinn to come rolling out of that fog.
Ooh, is this what you wished for?
For me, I think what I realized on this watch is I do like all the autopsy stuff. It's kind of once everything starts going down and going crazy afterwards that doesn't really do it for me.
I can see that.
I do like the body on fire scene too.
Yeah, no, that's great too.
Sorry.
But yeah, I could see how some of what is supposed to be the scare stuff, the creep stuff, the other stuff being kind of lackluster. In that way, it feels almost good, as we mentioned before, as entry level. I feel like these are all like, it sets up so much that I feel like with the eye that we watched it in, like you can kind of see what all is going to come in. It's like, oh, we know they're going to do the bell trick. It happens. It's executed. It works.
Totally.
We know there's going to be that weird fisheye mirror thing. Like we see that happen. We see that mirror. We know there's something weird that's going to happen with it. It happens. It's effective. It works. It's fine.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you're a newbie though, and you're really not
used
to those tropes, like this could probably like just jump you out of your seat, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, because the gags they do absolutely work. But like you said, like if you're used to these tropes and have seen them in other films and stuff like that, seeing this, I think that the intro to the gag and then the execution of the gag is fine, but they're very apparent. Like they're almost too on the nose, I guess would be the best way.
I feel like I was like watching, be like, yes, good job. Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And what I like about that is I felt like it was kind of trusting its audience.
Mm-hmm.
So at the part where they kind of explain everything, I guess that's why I didn't love it so much. I felt like they could have done it a little less heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, for those that don't get it, this is what's happening.
Sure. No, I can see that. Did anything surprise you guys about this one? I think the most surprising thing they were trying to do with this, because what it seems to be sold as and what you're expecting is like a ghost story and expecting that paranormal aspect to it. I wasn't expecting a witch.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, if anything, it didn't really fool me, but I guess it would surprise me as to what it turned out to be is
absolutely
witchcraft or witch.
I think from jump, like I was expecting a haunting and not like you said, like a cursed body kind of vibe.
Yeah,
I mean,
the fact that it was like a cursed object certainly. Again, I don't know if surprise is the right word because it's not like a twist, but it's like, oh, that's what they're doing. Like, that's cool.
Right. It's like I appreciated everything this movie was trying and doing. Did it work for me?
I think I like a lot of it more.
Some yes, some no, but
yeah,
I appreciate a lot of it.
Conceptually, I like a lot of it more than I like the execution of parts of it. Yeah.
It's okay. This is like a really weird comparison, but like I just remember in like older game show type stuff where you have like a very pixelated photo and it gets less blurry and you have more times to guess about it. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt sometimes about it. Like at a certain point, you know what the image is without it being crystal clear. And you're like, oh, it's totally this. And then when it actually reveals itself, it's not a big twist because you kind of guessed that through the clues that you kind of had.
Yes.
So it was like, it's a logical conclusion and not a surprise, I guess. Would be the best way.
I agree. And I think we kind of touched on some of the scares, jump scares already, the big ones within here. Yeah. So there's nothing really else to mention with that. So let's just go straight over into our gores real quick. Our gores and our kills.
Our gores.
Realistically, so we see aftermath of Gore of that initial crime scene of those people.
Yeah, the original 3 people murdered.
We see the girlfriend get axed, more or less. Kind of still the aftermath. It's not an active
post-axing,
but it's like right after an axing.
Yeah. She's pretty bloody.
Then the son kills the dad with the knife or the scalpel, and the other one is the son falls off at the end and like twists his neck and dies or whatever as he hits the ground.
And the cat.
Just like the cat.
And the cat.
Unfortunately. So there's not within those, the goriest one I'd say is probably the axe wound within those kills, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
All the other gore comes from the autopsy stuff.
The gore is
primarily from the autopsy. Yeah.
And that we have like organ removal, we've got brain removal, we've got bone saws, we've got rib splitters,
the scalp being peeled back, and then the skull,
the degloving of the scalp
and popped off.
I do love how it's like they do that, and then he's like he takes his little sample, and I guess he would do this, and he puts the skull back on, and then peels the head back down onto it, just like I don't
puts it right on top.
Imagine like you gotta keep it fresh, I guess. So keeping it fresh, let's go ahead and score this thing.
It's time for the Gore. Fatality.
From 1 to 10, Second of the Sadness. How are we gonna rank this one here? Consistency and intensity.
How are we gonna rank medical gore? I feel like that's gonna be the big thing of it, I think it
counts to an extent. I think
absolutely.
I think consistency, I'd say maybe about a 2.5.
I would have said higher because they're kind of
because the autopsy is most of the movie. I mean,
well, it's like I felt like it was spread out through. I mean, you started with it, maybe a little more.
I had consistency at a 3.5. Just because I didn't think it was like way over the line, but you did have the beats of the autopsy and then the axe murder, I guess would be or that,
and like
maybe the
zombies, I guess.
Yeah. So maybe like a 3.
I like 3.
3 works for me. Yeah.
Okay. But that
intensity. That
one I'd say is a little bit tougher with the medical gore. I think that certainly counts, but it's not like
cray
splattery. It's not like like super like, because you are working with an already, I guess, quote unquote, dead body.
Or dead.
Right. So there's no blood pumping. You're just.
I gave it a 4 because we do get the actual axe wound, but then like the intro scene of the entire body completely burnt to a crisp. We've also got like fishing and like, fucking flashlights inside a cranial dome. You know what I mean? We've got, I don't know. It's the medical stuff I feel it's weird. It's not heavy, but when you actually think about it, it's pretty heavy. Because like if I was going to put like a brain removal scene,
well, and it looks good too.
And it
looks
very realistic.
Like it's happening.
It
doesn't look like rubber,
So what do you think, Sam?
I was gonna give it a 3.5 because of everything Ross just said, but also because the medical nature and because it's not like spewing blood. I don't know. It just there's a disconnection to it that takes the intensity down a little bit.
I can agree with that. I could probably agree on a 3.5.
All right, let's do 3.5 and make this one a 6.5 on the Gorometer. I think that's great. So go into the climax and finish up this film a little bit here. So Austin says that the corpse has been preventing them from finding out the truth as they decide to go back into the examination room. The cremation furnace produces smoke, which makes them unable to see. Tommy's violently attacked in the smoke, thrown around, all that kind of shit. They eventually make it to the examination room. This is where we get the skull opening and we find out that her brain is still active. Tommy deduces that like something's still keeping her alive. Austin folds a piece of the cloth. This is where we get that Bible verse where they get all the she's a witch. This is witch. It's right there. And then we get this kind of like, she must have been a witch that died during the Salem witch trials. But the dad's like, no, right? He's the one that's like, no, none of them are.
Every one of those girls was innocent.
They're all innocent. And then he had that realization like, wait a minute. What if they did all this shit to an innocent person? Could you create a witch?
So that's what he seems to think has happened. And this is when he pretty much offers himself to be taken, to leave the son alone. He starts contorting and getting all the broken bones and everything that happened to her happens to him. And then begs.
She like regenerates too. So like, so like every time like his wrist snap, hers realign, his legs, his like knee, ankles give out, hers reset. So it's
all the stuff. Whenever we saw her bones moving underneath her skin, also like looked good.
Oh yeah, that was real.
The squirms.
And again, they played what they did well on the sound design there too to make you feel squirmy. On
no notes for the Foley artist on this movie. I usually
good. Oof. So
award.
Austin forced to kill his father to take him out of his misery. Lights in the radio come back on.
Oh yeah, he got turned into a turtle.
Pretty much.
Like, murder me!
Yeah. Austin hears the sheriff's voice calling to him, and then it starts singing to him. He's like, oh shit. And he gets scared, falls, breaks his neck, dies. Police arrive the next morning. I guess that would be like the epilogue, more or less, with the police arriving. But our climax was this big.
Yeah.
But the climax of that.
She's a witch.
I think she's a witch. It works. I do like it because like it is this like, hey, spare him, take me. Like I'm the guy doing the autopsy. Like I'm the one who has hurt you. And like, because it seems like it's like a revenge type thing for anybody that kind of either unearthed her, or at this point he's hurt her. Which I'm also, this is a weird, like, it's the only logic thing that I gotta have with this is that, like, if you knew her brain was active, wouldn't you just try to pluck that fucker out and just start pummeling the shit out of it? You know what I mean? Like zombie rules.
That was my first thought, is like, why not just stick a blender in there?
And just it's like, if this is the only living thing on her body that isn't like scarred or dead, I was like, at least you could try to puree it. I don't know if it'd actually work or not. But
for whatever reason, the father felt like he had to save her or something. He felt something about like.
It seemed
I
like
thought that would be putting her out of her misery. I thought that's what he was like. I figured out how to end her suffering.
Well, I think he thought that, but she doesn't care.
Yeah. Well,
she don't care.
I think no, she doesn't care, because I think the initial vibe too was like, okay, no one else knew what the fuck had happened because it's all internally in her. So like these two, more like him being a coroner, like he's one of the only people that actually knows why this is going on and like the exact things of it, by finding like the tapestry and like the flower and all the other stuff. So he's like, I'm actively giving myself to you. I was like, if you're just reenacting this suffering you're doing, do it to me, spare my son. And then the way that they presented it, it almost felt like she was going to wake up. Like she was putting all of that curse onto him, and then like she was regenerating.
Yeah, because even her eyes become unclouded.
Cleared up.
It did feel like that she was going to wake up and marry the son. I was like, that would have really surprised me if they went that direction.
Right? Yeah.
But okay, so I think the big question here is, do you think she was always a witch, or do you think she was made into a witch?
I do really like the idea of her being innocent. I think the idea of people in the name of quote unquote good doing something horrific to an innocent person and then creating the thing that they were intending to vanquish, I feel is like a very perverse way of creating something like that. Like, I think that idea to me really appeals more than her just being a witch.
Sure.
Like, being a witch is like, oh, okay. And then like, oh no, these people did something so bad that it actually created it. I think it's just a cooler concept to me.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I was like, I think that's I think where the audience is supposed to believe that she was made into a witch and be on Brian Cox's side there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the things I don't like about the ending. Is like, oh, society turned her into a witch. It's, Frankenstein. I feel like it's a lot of things. And I kind of wanted them to solve the mystery. Like, they're like, she's hiding something from us. We gotta like keep doing this. Like, you've been building up this mystery the whole time. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, take me instead. And psych, that's not actually it. Like,
yeah, that's not how it works. It honestly, just by talking it out with you guys, it almost has like Martyrs vibes, where it's like the enduring punishment that is done on this person, it's a metamorphosis into something else at the end. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't know if that's
I see what you're saying.
Intent,
yes, but
yeah,
but no. No, yeah. I mean, I think like Sam said, whereas what we're meant to believe is kind of what Brian Cox says, is that she was made into this, and now she's just on this forever quest of revenge. Whenever she's in the presence of someone, now she just fucking starts witching out and letting them die.
Yeah, what's her radius? Is there like is it a nighttime type thing where it's like she only activates at night, and is there like an aura presence around her that gets affected?
Why does only the outside of her body look okay, and
witch stuff?
And not that? Why doesn't the inside heal too?
Yeah, because she's a witch.
She's a witch. Also, I do have some. Okay, so I don't know if we're gonna get to like the actual the end.
Well, that's where we're at right now. So that's all happened. The police arrived the next morning. Radio announces, it's another sunny day here. And so
none of that storm happened.
It's indicating that none of the storm had happened the night before. Therefore, what did transpire? I don't think, was it how much was in their head, how much actually happened, and not that. What did she actually control?
I'm really curious on what is on the video camera, because like I'm having a total brain fart. Is that at the end of this, when the cops go circulating, is there fire damage?
It got lit on fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's fire damage to the board that has
pictures of her,
photos,
pictures
on
and stuff.
pictures of the autopsy got burned away. So and then she has no autopsy essentially performed on her. So did they even perform any autopsies of the other?
Put that together. That
I would have loved to.
Burned ones were.
I don't know. I would have loved to have had a scene that had him open up, like at the very end after they've shuttled her off, and then open up the camera and then press play to the actual recording of the autopsy and being like, wait a sec, like the confused status where it's like this woman's fucking like organs are out and like she's untouched, like she just left here untouched. You know what I mean? Almost like a hint of evidence of the night.
So do you think they actually performed an autopsy on her?
I'm going to say yes, because
I think so too.
I think the autopsy happened. And I think that, a lot of the supernatural things that caused the damage to like the building and to the doors and stuff like that was an actual manifestation. But I think the idea of them not being able to physically leave was trickery on her part.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
So for what
I want to say real quick, I didn't like the whole like key to their salvation being the dad sacrificing himself, but I did think it was cool when he started getting all her wounds and she started getting healed up. Like, that was cool.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. And I mean, obviously that wasn't the key to salvation. There was no.
Right.
So like, as we mentioned with the radio, the weather report is like, it's been 4 straight days of sunshine. So we know that none of the storm has happened at this point. IMDb also does state that there are many details throughout the movie that initially appear to be goofs. The time of the clock does not change, and the way it's supposed to with the passage of time. Austin's face does not have blood on it after he falls from the stairs. And when the police are investigating the morgue, the lights are not broken. So there's a whole big scene where all the lights broke out or whatever. Apparently
explode.
Right.
Those are all fine. So they're just, again, adding to the, it could be all hallucination, a lot of it hallucination. Right. And because ultimately anyone who died of someone else or themselves doing it. The girlfriend getting that axed by the dad.
Right.
Son killing the dad, or him falling off the thing. Yeah, that's it.
So all right. So the ending scene where they are now driving off with
that too.
And then
the theory.
The theory. Okay, so
theory.
the foot twitch, right? Now these are the only 2 people that have physically cut into her. I mean, obviously the only people that have done an autopsy on her. So they pull out.
How do we know it hasn't happened before?
Very
well. Although I do think that they want us to believe whatever he said, that back then they took her a long ways away from the Northeast and buried her where they thought nobody'd ever find her again. So they could be
uncovered in the house and stuff like that. Well, because the organs, at least at a certain point, had completely putrefied the second they were out of her encasement, right? So it's like her body was like preserving her organs and stuff like that. They pulled out the paralytic flower, like the thing that was like making that paralyzed her. So they physically removed that from her body. So like whatever that paralytic was that was just affecting her forever is now out of her body. So like the foot twitch, I was like, oh fuck, they didn't put the flower back in.
Whoa.
Oh fuck, she can probably start to move eventually. Like, oh god damn it.
That could make sense. And also they took out the paper, the parchment with the tooth, I assume was some sort of spell binding type of thing.
I just realized the flower shouldn't have worked at all. If it hasn't been affected by stomach acid, then none of it would dissolve and get into her system.
Ross?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know that the intestinal tract, the intestinal tract does absorb stuff. You know what I mean? Like as it's going through the larger and smaller intestine, because it takes the nutrients which makes the poop.
Isn't that after it's been digested?
Ross?
I don't know, man. I skipped that part of the Magic School Bus episode.
Well, if anyone knows the answer to this, in a
in
witch's
theory, it is
body,
completely whole, this flower, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know much.
This is witch logic. I don't know.
All right,
this is weird territory.
Someone out there knows the answer, and I would like us to hear that answer.
The full essay.
So there you have it. I don't have any final thoughts here. So do you guys want to go ahead and move over into the crematorium?
Let's do it. Crematorium
questions. Here we are. You know what time it is. We ask all these weird little things. First off, would we survive autopsying someone?
You know what? I'm gonna say no, because it seems like it's like a Roach Motel type thing where it's like between the house and the funeral home, crematorium, whatever. It's like the intent of Jane is to like make sure you can't leave and then kill you. You know what I mean? Where it's like, if we're in that situation, unless we're Emma's character and get out there early, we are not. And then she came back though, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's just Jane Doe's a strong witch. She's been turned into a strong witch apparently in her presence. I mean, unless we just happen to be like
the sheriff
or any of those people who were just kind of able to pass through that situation. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there was just too many around. Like she has like a 3 or lower.
Well, we're already trapped now. So if she showed up here, we'd definitely be screwed.
Cooked.
Although there's so much space.
Things work differently here. And we know like this is
it's a little different.
But I think basically if you're in a building with her that's not already like open in some way, who knows? You know what I mean? But like you have a little shot there, but you can get trapped by her. She needs to be a little trappy though.
I'm really curious on like daytime nighttime rules for her powers, because it seems like all these crime scenes are found out in the morning and like she's not really active shy of the toe wiggle in like daylight, you know what I mean? And then like
the first one I assume is just the first one, and so now this is the second one.
Well, what if
toe wiggles daylight,
because they didn't. What if it happened when people like went, because like let's say the contractor, whoever broke into the ground, hit her and hurt her. That's why they got affected and shit happened to them. Then she gets put into this autopsy. Nothing happens until they
start
cutting into her.
Shit.
That allows things that are happening. That doesn't. And then by the end, she's
more
able
powerful.
to control herself at this point. More powerful would be my only theory.
His soul or something.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a really good point, because it's like even accidentally hurting her by unearthing her could, almost like a revenge. Yeah,
that was like the awakening and setting off thing. So again, that could be like, so don't poke at any dead bodies.
Yeah. Don't cut into the dead bodies.
So that we wouldn't do. So we'd be safe there.
So I think we actually do have a 50-50 shot here.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation. I think it is more survivable.
Exactly.
And what we decide to do, if we decide to like let's poke it and cut into his body. How do you make the film gooier? I think you could, I guess, make the on-screen kills. If you need to,
of like the face caved in shotgun blasts zombie, because we know from earlier, right, the towel thing hanging over the face. So now it's up and walking around. I thought we were gonna get like a really
full
solid,
face
strong, and it's
then we could just get like a quick glimpse.
Very quick glimpse.
Doctor Tongue Plus. without a fucking actual eyeballs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have loved to have, it would probably be like little snippet add-on scenes, but like if you had when they pulled the bodies out, a snippet of how they died. So like having like the shotgun blast, like you see the guy's face get blown off, or like, you know what I mean? Where it's like you have these really quick, very gory scenes, but then like, you know, like boop, boop. And then you actually see like what's on the slab, you know?
I feel like Ross just got possessed a little by Who Got Malou over here.
He does that.
Yeah.
He does that from time to time. He's a little Ugot boy. We knew this. Hero level 1 through 10. This is going to be our what was it? Our
dynamic duo,
our tenacity, and their iconography or whatever.
Okay. Their iconography, I'm going to kind of go low. I mean, like, because they're literally in medical garb.
I couldn't even recognize a meta horror con.
No, absolutely not.
I got nothing on it.
So that's going to be like almost non-existent.
I would recognize. Oh wait, we're talking about hero.
Yeah, a nude woman.
It's like I would recognize Jane
stone
Doe,
gray blue nude woman walking around.
If they were walking around with an autopsy table of a nude woman, then I would recognize the whole ensemble.
Yeah,
but otherwise,
nothing.
Sure.
But I would say honestly, for tenacity's pretty fucking high. I mean, like between like them keeping semi level head of like researching stuff and like because it's medically logic brain the entire time, even when the shit pops off, they're still trying to figure out what's going on and how to stop it. I mean, like the dude's girlfriend got axed in the chest and he's still trying to figure shit out. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they're I don't know. Yeah, they got a lot of pizzazz.
I would agree they're tenacious. I would say especially they both are.
What would you equate that to? What numbers would you give that? A 3?
I was gonna say 3.5.
Yeah, I give it a 3.5.
I could go for a 3.5, but the iconography we said is pretty low. So what are you saying? Like a 1 or even less?
I would say a 0.
A 0. I agree. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Because even if like in their fucking garb, you'd be like, oh, I guess you're a doctor. No, coroner.
Are you
like,
some sort of evil doctor?
Yeah. Unless they had a badge that said like coroner.
Damn. So that is certainly only a 3.5 total for our hero level, our villain level now, power level and iconography. So as we said, our power level seems pretty strong, but again,
fucking high.
We don't know what activates that power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As we said, do we have to actively cut into her to piss her off?
Like I wouldn't. I mean, it's definitely not a 5 because I don't think it's like godlike powers.
Right.
But there are some levels of reality or mind manipulation that's going on. But she's also completely
seem
immobile.
To be able to pass through, you know.
But she also has that cursed object thing where she can pass hands,
right,
and stuff doesn't happen. So like I don't know, maybe honestly, I would give it maybe like a 3.5 because it seems like I would say
I was thinking 3.5 or a 4.
So was I, because you got to think too. A big part of her power is this ability to not die / regenerate.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Then I would give it.
Is pretty, I guess, pretty strong. And then we don't know what I guess she would be like at full power, but within the scope of this movie, yeah, I could go with a 3.75.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Sounds good.
And then iconography.
I'd recognize her anyway.
Yeah, it's weird that like iconography without having a stitch of clothing on, it would be like, okay, yeah. You know.
But even just like the
look,
face,
like
the
look
of her
eyes,
mm-hmm.
the bloodless skin, even splayed open the tattoos on the inner
that would be okay. If you want to do a really fucking cool one, like so you don't have to be fully naked, if you could splay it out so you're covering yourself somehow, and like that would look really cool
for cosplay.
Yeah, exactly. Or go full Jane Doe. Do whatever you want. You be you. But I think iconography, 4?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
I would absolutely say that.
4 feels good. Because 5, even though I feel like very recognizable, 5 seems too strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So that gives her a 7.75. Obviously, Jane Doe did take out our heroes in this movie. Scale still works. Should the Autopsy of Jane Doe have a sequel? Do you want the sequel? Do you want to see where the toe wiggling leads to, Ross? Sam?
I think if there was going to be I don't think it needs a sequel. But if you were going to do a sequel, could you imagine how batshit bonkers? If you're gonna do it, do like a Demons 2, as in okay, we were at a coroner's
the same movie again.
Yes, kind of the same movie again, but have it in the morgue of a big hospital. If you're gonna do it and then have the body count go fucking nuts like that, I feel like
I don't want it to be an autopsy again. I do want a sequel because I kind of. Again, there's a lot conceptually I like, but we already know kind of the mystery now and who she is if we're going into the sequel. So I just want her to end up somewhere. I'm not sure where, you know what I mean, where they don't know what's going on and eventually realize. And I guess we might find out more of the rules then, because does she have to be attacked in some way?
Yeah,
something like that. And then the third movie could be the prequel, and then you could go back. So we've had an autopsy. Now we could have a court procedural.
The Martyrs movie.
About her in 1667 or whatever it is, about what turned her into a witch and all that kind of shit. That'd be the
which would be like Martyrs.
which there you go, Ross. There's your Martyrs crossover.
There we go.
I know you've been looking for it with every movie we watch. Would you buy this soundtrack or score on
like Martyrs?
You type that one in. That's a good question.
Go type in that. Yep.
Soundtrack. I can't recall it, to be honest, or the score.
Same.
Besides,
probably very atmospheric.
And then obviously the "Let the Ray of Sunshine."
I do like that.
I know that's not the tune,
I wouldn't buy it, but
you would have just listened to a creepy song.
This movie.
So if they released
like a single,
like a 7-inch vinyl, but it had the static radio, you're supposed to play it, and it has the ambient and some of that weird screamy static stuff,
tuning in or going through,
tuning in and out. I would absolutely do that, especially if it had an evidence, it comes in an evidence bag.
I think you just want. I think this is a good idea in general. It just needs to be a mix album, a compilation, vinyl.
A girl talk thing.
Ooh.
No, like a spooky songs and sounds to play at Halloween parties.
Yeah.
So, but it's full of all the creepy songs, not all the creepy songs, but creepy songs from famous horror movies. All of them that have these.
So just a Halloween album.
Yeah, but like
a Halloween party.
Yeah,
album.
yeah. So Ross can get it, but so it'll have I'm imagining spooky sounds and screech and scream in the background and a bat fluttering. And then, this song plays
and the Monster Mash comes on.
Exactly. Well, no.
And what? Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Yeah. There you go.
Which one is that? Is that The Conjuring or is that Insidious?
Insidious.
Okay. That makes
that's
all
the one
those
I know.
movies.
Yeah. I've never seen The Conjuring once, but I've seen a bunch of the Insidii. Anything action figure worthy? You guys want a Jane Doe?
Jane Doe.
I don't think I can explain that one away.
If you had, oh my god,
if you buy you both a Jane Doe action figure.
No.
Yeah, dude, in our fake reality world we couldn't, but in the Chuddle Club Crypt we could have one.
Dude,
I don't have to explain shit.
No, I don't want the action figure. I want the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I want the full thing.
Hasbro Operation game.
Ooh, that's good. That's good promo item. That'd be a good.
Pull out the flower. You pull the string out.
The string out. Yeah.
Pouch.
Solid.
Good one,
Good
Ross.
job, Ross. Well, anything we want from the film that we want to throw on. We got to take the scroll with the tooth.
Rib shears.
I think. And a pair of rib shears for all the hedges out front.
Yeah.
Sam did just discover that tree room.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we could go in there and trim up the place.
Should I buy Jane Doe shears?
And there's a rib room.
There's a roof room.
Oh, that would have been a great promo item as well. Anyway.
Is Jane Doe the brand? No, it was a promo they were giving him out.
No, remember the Autopsy of Jane Doe? They gave everyone rib shears. Head shears.
Okay, so
rib
this
shears.
is a complete tangent, but the new Together, that film from Neon, right on their website, they have the official Together saw, like electronic saw from, like, I thought that was the funniest thing. So we could hypothetically get an Autopsy of Jane Doe rib shears. Officially branded.
I like the Together merch that they did. That's
The conjoined hoodie.
The hoodie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conjoined
That's a
hoodie.
good one.
It's great.
All right, so I guess we're going to get some head shears from this movie and throwing that onto our wall. Anything we're throwing at the midnight showing? Clothes?
Clothes. Oh my God. That'd be so funny.
I will say she is naked the whole time. We get boobs the whole time. Maybe it's the medical setting. It's very tasteful. You know what I mean? It's never... maybe because it's a corpse, but
yeah,
you know.
not an ounce of like leaning into the sexual aspect of it. Like, it is just very medical the entire time, you know.
I mean, from what I read, she felt nervous at first, but seemed to be comfortable with it. I haven't read further into it, so as long as she's comfortable with it,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It seems like at this point
it was 5 weeks or something after the first week.
Yeah, it seems like
you're fine.
Just going to work. More worried about laying down and not breathing for 8 hours.
And then, so anything else for the midnight showing you want to do there?
No. That's a no from me.
Throw your hedge clippers. Popcorn bucket.
Jane Doe.
Boobs.
All splayed open. You know?
Like a mini Jane Doe. You put the back. Yeah, that's actually fantastic.
Split open.
Yeah, that's pretty
not
good.
Bad. Arse face.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
It's my Jane Doe Autopsy of Jane Doe bucket.
The arse face, but his chest cavity is where you put the nachos, and then the nacho cheese is stuck in the face divot.
I feel like you've come up with another nacho one before, so maybe we need to retool this. What is the nacho?
What's the nacho?
Concession.
What's the concession?
What is
stand?
the concession?
Ooh, yeah.
All right, let's end this. Let's close up the crematorium and get into our ratings.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all, cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
On this show, we like to use a rating scale of 0 to 5 fingers. Each finger represents a different quality about a movie. You can chop off half a finger as well as no fingers. These ratings are intended to be subjective on how we feel about a movie. It does not matter if the movie is objectively good or bad. Tonight, we're going to go ahead and do what we're going to call reverse order from last time. And Sam, I'm going to have you go first because it seems like you're the one that enjoyed this the least.
Okay. Well, let's see. Engaging is going to be 0.75 because it is the mystery is kind of interesting, but the third act really just loses me. So 0.75 there. Sticky 0.5. I remember the general concept, and I really remembered the tattoos under the skin. I don't know why, that just really stood out to me. But a lot of the details were gone, and I don't think I'll remember them in the future. Stuffable, 0. I don't want anything from this. It just has no appeal to me. Cockles, I guess I'll go 0.5 because I do enjoy the mystery of the first part. I just feel like it doesn't get paid off for me. And rewatchable is going to be a 0.25 because I'm not against watching this again, but I doubt I'll ever put it on my own. That's a
That
2 out of
gives you
5.
a 2.
That's okay. I thought it might get a little higher than that, but I'm okay with that. I had it at a
All right, everyone, pull it out.
fun Letterboxd.
I'm going to bleep that out because I told them to go follow your letterbox.
Oh,
I'm going to
true.
hold that to them. So if they want to know what it
Ruh-roh.
was, go follow his letterbox at Chuddle the Sam. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go next. Why not? And then we'll leave Ross at the end here.
Cool.
Engaging. I'm going to go ahead and agree with that 0.75. There was times that I tuned away that I felt like I was like, okay, I understand what they're doing here. I don't necessarily need to pay attention. But the mystery parts going into that, I was certainly engaged with.
Mm-hmm.
And the autopsy obviously was like the coolest shit. Sticky, I'm going to give that a point. Geez, this one's tough. I think I will give that a 0.5. With room to grow and see how much it really sticks with me. I'll remember. I feel like I knew of this movie and have known of this movie for a long time. Therefore, it's already stuck in my head. So now that I've seen it, things will stick around. Stuffable. I think there could be some cool stuff for it. So I am going to give it a 0.5 for that. That I would potentially have. Whatever. I think there's ideas that could be had there. There could be like a cool t-shirt vest combo that you can like open up and it looks like you're all like splayed open or something.
Yeah.
And get a comforter that's just Jane Doe.
Or a body pillow. Cockles. Cockles, I'll give it a 0.5 because like half of it I was like really into the medical, the weird kind of procedural stuff going on there. The other half, the quote unquote, I gotta say, spooky paranormal half, didn't do much for me. And rewatchable, I'd give it just a little bit more at a 0.5, I think. Again, not opposed to it. Would probably watch it again. I'd be interested in what in checking some out, see if there's other stuff going on there. Why not? So that gives me a 2.75, which for some reason feels like it's lower than I thought it was going to be when I first came into this tonight. But after our discussion, I think it feels pretty accurate. Let's go overhead and go to Ross.
Okay. Man. Okay. So engaging, I'm going to have at a 0.75. I was thoroughly engaged. Particularly obviously the first watching just because of the medical mystery one. I feel that a little bit of a drifting off happens after rewatches, and not necessarily in a bad way, just you know what the beats are, so you kind of are not hyper focused like you are kind of your first watch. Sticky is gonna I'm gonna say Sticky's also gonna get a 0.75 because there's a lot of weird imagery stuff like the bell, the internal tattoos, and particularly the body harm swap where like the breaking of bones and then the resetting of them on that one, like that is fried into my brain. I would say, yeah, dude, like this, oh man, the stuff. That's a hard one where like I'm going to do 0.25 because I feel like there can be stuff for this movie, but do I want to own it? Like, I feel like it would have to be a very specific thing that would come out that would be like, oh, awesome. Like if they came up with like
that record you talked about,
like the record, or I would even do like, not like a prequel book, but if there was like not the art of Jane Doe, but like some kind of like a manuscript that had some like weird stuff that talked about the symbols or something like that was like a companion thing to the film. Like if it got me more into the lore, a booklet, yeah, if it got me more into the lore, insta buy, because I like the weirdness of the paranormal stuff going on here and the cursed object idea. So if it's that, into it. Cockles, I think Cockles is gonna get a 0.5. Because there's definitely some really cool stuff. And I would say just as a special effects freak, like the realism of the autopsy stuff was fucking awesome because you either can do it well or it looks fucking terrible. And this looked as close to realism as you could possibly get. So like I think that really stuck in my craw.
So was that, I'm sorry, what was that for Cockles?
0.5. Because even with some of the lackluster stuff and like what the logical conclusion is, so it's not really like a surprise, but that buffered through, I think 0.5 is fine. Yeah, rewatchable is a weird one where like I feel like this would be it's an outlier. Like it's weird. I don't want to give it a 0.25, but I don't want to give it a 0.5 either. Because at this point, like I did 2 watches for this. I saw it originally, but it's not a movie that I actively want to revisit, but I wouldn't be upset if I saw it again. You know what I mean? Like,
so that's a 0.25.
That's a 0.25
like to me.
Yeah, I think 0.25.
Okay, so that's a 2.5 from you.
How does that feel, Ross?
Honestly, going into this, I thought it would actually be higher. Like, I thought this was going to be in like 3.5 like range. And I'm not going to say that it's not probably going to hit a 3 on our re-rates. Re-rates. But for the purposes tonight, yeah, dude, I think a 2.5 because it's a good movie. It's just, I think because we're horror heads, I think a lot of the stuff that's in it is predictable. It's done in a great way, and I think it's presented in a really cool way. It's just if you know the gags, it's not really bringing anything super crazy to the table, but what it does really well.
Yeah. Cool. The club didn't have much to say on this one. No ratings from the acolytes. We were sharing a couple GIFs in the Discord. So if you want to look at some GIFs, jump into the Discord. How does it rate with the rest of the films on in the Goo book here? It's a 2.4 total from us. So that sits it pretty low, to be honest. It's in the red zone. Right below it at 2.3. This is our first 2.4 apparently.
Okay.
We have X at a 2.3, Final Destination 4, and Bug at a 2.3.
Okay.
Right above it at 2.5 sits Friday the 13th Part 2, Final Destination 5, Seed of Chucky, and Survival of the Dead. So
seems about
interesting.
It's fine for me.
Yeah, I guess it works. Gotta work.
And it can't stay in the crypt then, right? It's not for hire. What do we do? Do the gods take care of that? Should we?
No, I think Jane Doe is going to be buried somewhere else besides our crypt. And I think that's not a bad thing, to be totally honest with you.
Well, until we figure out what to do with it, we'll throw it in one of these other rooms here, one of those piles of goo. And with that, we're going to go ahead and conclude the meeting of Chuddle the Pod for tonight. Mm-hmm. If you're enjoying the show, want to stay trapped with us, follow at Chuddle the Pod on Instagram and Threads. Want to see Ross's killer tattoo work? Follow him on at Ross Purvis on Instagram.
Hey.
And if you're in the Central Florida area, you can go ahead and get tattooed by the man himself. Meet Ross in person.
Give
him
down.
Money. He will put ink into your body. Woo. On top of it and however,
I haven't perfected the inside of the skin tattoos like in this movie, but I'm close.
He's working on it.
I'm working on it.
We'll get there. You can follow Chuddle the Sam, Chuddle the Bryan, and Chuddle the Ross on Letterboxd to track what we're watching inside of the time loop and maybe outside of it as well. Want to help pick movies, answer Goo Book questions, just scream into the void with us? Join our Discord, become part of the Chuttle community. There's a link to all that gooey goodness in the show description below. Next time, Xiaoyu's the Goo God of Monsters demands a sacrifice, and we're going to give it one in 2 weeks. Until next time, avoid the time loop.